Hello everybody. In this video, I am going to demonstrate how to do a mid fade while leaving the top long. Personally, I like to remove bulk first with the number 2 guard, and then I'm going to fade down. Everybody has their personal preference on how they like to do it. Some people like to start with their skin fade line first and then fade. Sometimes I do it that way, sometimes I do it the opposite way. I start at the temples first and then make my way back, and then I go to the other side starting on that temple and meet in the back. I do it that way to ensure that it's even all the way around and I don't slope up or down if I start at one side and work all the way to the other. And here I have the lever of the clippers opened all the way, so that's a 2.5, and I am scooping up in a C motion. Like I said, we're leaving all the length on the top, so I don't want to dig up too far and take off too much weight. Here now I am using the number 1 guard, somewhat low, maybe ½ inch, 3/4 of an inch above the ear, and making a guide around with the number 1. And then I open up the lever just halfway and start flicking out that line. I kind of go back and forth between having the lever halfway open and all the way open, just as needed. I try to do most of it with the lever all the way open, and then if I see some dark spots or lines, then I close it halfway and try to remove those areas. You can see there I'm going back and forth with the lever. So my client here has a pronounced occipital bone. Any bony areas, I definitely don't recommend fading on that area, so I'm taking the number 1 completely over the occipital bone, and then I'm going to open the lever and start fading up after we've gone over that bone. I definitely recommend fading way above or way below that area. Now I have my clippers closed all the way. That's a 0 right above the ear, in front of the ear, and then I'm opening it up halfway, flicking out the line, and then opening it up all the way and continuing to flick out that line until it looks completely smooth. You can see here some of the areas that aren't getting completely smooth. I'm turning my clippers over on the corner and just doing a C motion with the edge of the clipper instead of laying it completely flat against his head, and then making a jagged motion with it to help blend that out. Now I'm making a guide with my 0 all the way across the bottom of the head. I'm getting pretty close up to the occipital bone because the underside of the peak of the occipital bone, that area is naturally just going to look darker, so we're going to have to make that pretty short there anyways. Then I open the lever halfway and start to flick that line out. I'm using the Babyliss GoldFX clippers. If you guys haven't used those before, the lever has 4 different notches that you can feel as you open and close. So usually when I do halfway, I'll feel it go 2 clicks and then another 2 to completely open it. That's one of the features I really like about these clippers, is that without looking at the lever, you can know what position you're in. So you see I'm just going back and forth, flicking up with the lever open to smooth out that line. It's a lot of fine detailing. Sometimes you gotta step back and look at it, or look at it in the mirror. You're not going to get it completely blended on the first pass usually. You have to take your time, look at it, and just keep going over it. After I finished all of my clipper work, I'm going to go back and blend where I left off with the number 2 guard and scissor over comb until I've blended it into the top. My client here wants to grow out the top of his hair and wants to leave a lot of weight towards the top, so we didn't want to remove any weight up above the parietal ridge. So instead of using clipper over comb, I decided to do shear over comb because less aggressive. I can work on that weight line little by little while trying to take out the least amount of hair as possible. Here, I'm just blending the beard, the top of the beard, into the hair using the number 1 guard. I start with the 1 and then I open it up the further down I go into the beard. The rest of it I'll use my shears with for blending. Then I'm just cleaning up the temple area and around the ears with my edgers. My edgers are 0 gapped. So when I get to the bottom here, you see I'm flicking it up into where I had the 0, just so I don't make a line. I'd rather that be a smooth transition at the bottom. Alright, for the hot towel shave. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this was my first time recording a hot towel shave, and I was definitely more concerned with my camera view, so I decided to stand behind my client. You can see on there at the top of his head, which is not ideal. I had a very bad view, couldn't really see what I was doing, wasn't comfortable, and it really shows. So I definitely apologize. I'm going to take this as a learning experience and just hold a better body position and change my camera angle the next time I do this. And here's the final result, guys. Thank you for bearing through my very first video. I apologize for all the mistakes here. This is my first time doing this. I'm going to learn from my mistakes and continue to make more videos, and hopefully they get better in quality as we progress. If you guys have any questions, please leave me a comment, and hope you guys stick around and see more from me later on.